bada bing. This is going to be good. UFC 314 is in a few weeks, and I cannot wait. This is going to be banging. Although I'm pissed, and I'll tell you why I'm pissed. Because Chael Sonnen, he says that no fight card stays the same from release until fight night. And I wish that he would be wrong about that one time. And of course, of all fights to pull out, it's the fucking Prates one. I was so excited for that. I did a massive breakdown of how the Jeff Neal and Prates styles would mix up, and it would be so cool. And I was so excited because Jeff Neal, he's not a fucking tin can. This guy, he works and he puts you to work. Like if you're not ready, he will drown you. It would have been so cool to see. But no, Jeff Neal, classic Jeff. Everyone goes, oh, we all know Jeff. He pulls out, and if it's not his night, he's shit. Well, he pulled out. Of course, he pulled out. Anyway, I'm gonna go through the whole card, or not the whole card, probably the bits that I'm interested in. Prelims to the main event. That's what I'll do. I think that's a good idea. First fight that I want to talk about is Chase Hooper versus Jim Miller. I think that's a very nice fight. I'm excited for that because I think it's a good way to ease us in to the card. It's a good appetizer because well, Jim Miller's fought everyone. He's fought probably more. I think he's fought longer than I've been watching the whole sport, which is ridiculous. Then you've also got Chase Hooper, who's been evolving. We've seen him kind of grow as a fighter and I think as a person as well. I'm very excited because Jim Miller, he's got a chin like fuck. His ground game's underrated and his power is pretty fucking nice. Chase Hooper's got an elite ground game, very dangerous jiu-jitsu. Not really wrestling, but very dangerous jiu-jitsu. And his boxing's actually improved by a lot. And he's young, so you'll be fit and you'll probably be able to take a decent smack. I would lean towards Chase, but it's a really good fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Miller just fucking puts it on him, but I think Chase would win that. The fight after that, Yan Xiaonan, who's what is she? The number one rank. She's ranked number one, and she's fighting the ranked number three, and they're on the prelims. They're not even the featured prelim. They're on they're low down on the prelims. It's ridiculous. And now that there's a slot opened up in the main card, if they can't get Prata as a replacement, I would say put them on it because it's number one versus number three. That's a title shot. Whoever wins that's fighting the champ next. I don't understand why they're so low down. It's disrespectful as fuck, actually. I would be pissed if I was one of them. Or any of their teams anyway. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. I mean, yeah, Dan Ige hits pretty hard, and he's really impressive. His performance against Diego Lopez was spot on. Although I don't think it was the best version of Diego because he had to cut weight like 3 times that week. That was ridiculous. All different weights each time, 3 different opponents in one week. So it wouldn't have been him at 100%, but it wouldn't have been Dan Ige either. So I think it's a solid fight. And then you also got Sean Woodson, he's fought Aljo. He beat one of Aljo's main training partners, Dennis Bazookia. That's it. He fought Dennis Bazookia, and he beat him. I think that was also short notice for Dennis, but it's still, again, a win's a win, and it's fucking class. Because that guy has some high level training partners. Krylov versus Reyes, Dominic Reyes. That's going to be good. I'm a big fan of Reyes. I think he beat John Jones. I don't think you can disagree with that. John said the wrestling won the fight, but he didn't get a takedown until the fourth round, which means that if the wrestling won him the fight, the only success he had in wrestling was 4 and 5. And the wrestling didn't set up the strikes really, because Dominic Reyes was reacting to the takedowns whenever John would grab him. And if John fainted it, he wouldn't give a fuck. He just threw with the feint. So I don't really know what he was talking about with that one. And after that, Reyes had a dramatic, sad fucking downfall. And he's only now picking up the pieces. He went from number one to unranked, getting knocked out, getting battered by everyone. He fought loads of great fighters, but got battered by loads of fucking people. That was really sad to see. Krylov, I'm not so familiar with. I know he's all rounded, and I know he's fought Gustafsson, but he'll probably win, won't he? I'll be disappointed, but he'll probably win. I want Reyes to win. I really like Reyes. I think he's a good lad. I like Reyes. Next up might be my favorite fight of the whole event. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I think it's Patricio. Don't quote me on that, but it's Pitbull. It's a Pitbull. I think it's the Pitbull that knocked out Michael Chandler, and it's his debut. Imagine debuting against Yair. That's fucked. I'm a massive Yair fan. I love Yair. I wanted to see Yair Ilya. That would have been my dream matchup for featherweight, but I think Ilya's moved up now, so I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I mean, Yair's footwork pattern. I was watching a reel of that today. He's, the way his feet, he builds a rhythm with his feet, and he sucks you in, and then he blasts you back with a kick, and then once you even get close to him, he throws with vicious intent with the hands. So he's just like you need to shut his whole game down, and then even when you take him down, his guard is dangerous with submissions and elbows. Volk shut the whole thing down from the footwork. It started off with the battle of the feints, the footwork, the kicks, the hands, and then Volk drained him with the grappling. And his top pressure was amazing. Pitbull's, I think, I don't know too much about Pitbull because I only really watch UFC. And this is his debut, so I'm not so familiar. I've seen a couple things. I would imagine him being the shorter guy, he's gonna have to try and take him down and then land something big with the hands because I know he flatlined Michael Chandler, which is he flatlined Michael Chandler. Justin Gaethje didn't do that, so yeah, he's on a losing streak, but I mean, look who he's fighting, best in the world. Anyone can turn that shit around. It's him, and it's a good fight for him. It's very impressive. It'll be a good win to have as resume. I'll say that much. It'll be a very solid win to have, and hopefully he can get up. I want to see him hunt Ilya. I don't think people paid attention to their beef. I got so invested in that. Whenever they talked about each other, I could just feel like the fire between the Spaniard and the Mexican. Oh, that needs to happen next. That really does need to happen next. Oh, I was going to talk about Prates at this point, but we all know what fucking happened with that. The dozy bastard. I'm so pissed off about that. Sorry, I love Jeff Neal. He's my guy. Bryce Mitchell. Bryce. Good old Bryce. This fucking madman. This guy's a madman. I don't understand. Was he mad? Was he this mad before before his last knockout loss, where he just got flatlined by Josh Emmett? Was he always this mad? I saw him make a bowl years ago, and that was cool. But now he's just went totally off his rocker. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know what to think. And then he starts saying that Jean Silva is like got demons in him and all that. And I see him bark like standing on the cage wall, like barking. I'm like, well, maybe he's onto something. To be fair to him, because this guy is just fucking insane. But I think Jean Silva should win it. Bryce is. I think Bryce is a heavy underdog, but it's closer than that because Bryce's head movement. I know Ilya did catch him in the end, but in the Ilya fight, his he could see the shots coming very well. And there's a few times he landed on Ilya and slipped out, and his exits were very nice. But I think he's going to have to do that for the whole 15 minutes. He has done that with power punches before. I think he beat Dan Ige, and that was a close decision. But I don't think he's going to be strong enough to hold, because he's a good grappler as well. I don't think he's going to be strong enough to hold Jean there. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think his striking is consistent enough to weaponize pace on him either. And I think Gene Silva is so with the fighting they're so cerebral in the way they strike. Like they're set their range, they're on their toes. They probably all switch. I think I see all of them switch. Maybe not Prates, but most of them will do. And they just find the shot and they all hit like trucks and they nail you. I don't see it going any differently to be honest. And also Bryce Mitchell's been put to sleep in a disgusting manner before. So it might happen again. I know some of you sick bastards would probably like to see that, but then that just means we just start talking more shit. So I don't know what I want with that fight. I'm just excited for it. The co-main's up next. Michael Chandler versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. That's the goofiest fight I think I could put together. Paddy versus Michael. I don't know. Iron Mike versus Paddy the Baddy. That's just so weird. I don't know. But my gut tells me it's going to be a war. It's going to be unironically a fight of the year contender. I don't know why. I mean, Michael Chandler's hands, like. So the thing with Paddy is that he's hard to get to because he's so rangy and his chin is up. but it makes his vision good and his footwork's fast enough and his reactions are fast enough to get out of the way of most shots. But once you do get to him, he's so upright that you can't get out of the way of most attacks with the hands. So if Michael Chandler can blitz in, which we all know he can do very well, you look at the Gaethje fight, darted in and got him, and the Oliveira, the rematch with Oliveira, when he turns southpaw at the end, he could cover distance really well. Even though I don't think he's very good out of southpaw. I don't know how he managed to do that to Charles, but if he can close the distance and close the gap and land something and finish it, that's something that Michael Chandler really struggles with. He hurts people. He never finishes them. He's had majority decisions in any of his fights. He has had majority like he got finished with Charles. He got finished with Dustin. He went the distance with Gaethje. He's finished Dan and Tony. The Dan fight's impressive. But a lot of his fights do go this like 5 rounds with Charles. I don't know. He was so durable in that fight. It must have been all the time off. He just came in fresh, but with no rhythm, and just got pieced up by a guy that was active at the top level. But I don't think I think Michael Chandler stings people. But he kind of rushes his work, and a guy that's like what 40. I think he's pushing 40. That's not a good sign because at that point you'd think the experienced guy especially with that style, he knows when he hurts people. He should know how to finish. I've never seen him hurt a guy, like wobble them. Have we? Nah, his wins are Dan, which was one punch. Tony was the front kick. I don't think he's had another win in the UFC. And he's hurt a lot of people. He's hurt more people than that. You hurt Dustin, you hurt Gaethje, you hurt Charles. Lost to all 3 of them. He stings them and he can't finish. It's very hard for him to finish. But I think with Paddy, he could. Because I don't think we've seen Paddy rocked and he might panic. Oh no, he got rocked in his debut. But I think Paddy's response to getting rocked was to throw down. Let's hope that happens because that would be amazing. Seeing anyone throw down with Michael Chandler is just entertainment. That's just banging. Um, Paddy's very rangy. I think his calf kicks will be good. His teeps will be good. I wonder if Michael Chandler will want to wrestle with him because his jiu-jitsu is dangerous. It's very, very slick and it's well rounded. Like he chained what was it he chained in the Bobby Green thing? He chained like a triangle choke into a guillotine or something cool. That was nice. I liked that. Can't really remember what it was, but I remember he did chain one into the other. I like that a lot. I really do. I don't know if it's 5. I think it is 5 rounds. And also, the thing about Michael is if he does wrestle with Paddy, will Paddy play jiu-jitsu or will he prioritize getting up? Because a lot of jiu-jitsu fighters get caught between that. Charles struggled with that with Armin. He kept trying to find the submission when actually he was winning the striking. So if he fought up to his feet instead of trying to find the choke, he might have actually taken a decision in that. I think he should have gotten it anyway, but I'm going to go on a tangent about that if I keep going. So who would I pick? Probably Paddy. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but probably Paddy. I don't know why. I think he'll be fitter. He's probably got a better chin. Although, does he have a better chin? We don't know. We don't know. I think Paddy, he's younger, he's got momentum. I don't remember the last time. I don't even think I watched UFC live. I kept up with it, but I didn't even watch UFC live when Michael Chandler had his last win. So that just tells you all you need to know about that. That was back before I could stay up all night watching these fucking ridiculous cards. It's at stupid o'clock in the morning. The main event, the big one, Volk and Diego. Oh my god, this is going to be stupendous. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be so good. I've got a lot to say about it because Volk, he glides super well and his exits are normally really sharp. He'll like pop you, and he's not as rangy as people think because I saw it on the probably most of you have as well. I've saw it on the I think it was Demetrius Johnson's YouTube channel. Volk's arms are put down as like 74 inches or something crazy, but you can't fully extend them anymore. And I don't. He says they've shrunk even, but he didn't give like what they are now. They're just not nearly as long as they say they are. So all that time where people thought Volk was like a gorilla and that's why he could out jab like Max Holloway and all that, it was just his footwork and his timing was just spot on and his speed. Volk's really quick and he was still quick against Ilya. The thing with Ilya is that he threw loads of shots, and Volk had to respect it because Volk, Ilya, he hits like a truck, and I don't think Volk was right coming in so soon after getting chinned already. So when you're with a power puncher, you want to cover up as soon as they make any move. So and he backed up in a straight line, which is why I say normally his exits are good because you never want to back up in a straight line with Ilya. And he got nailed because he wanted to throw back against the cage when Ilya had his feet planted better. It was just wrong decision making at the wrong time. That can happen very easily. And it can happen in this as well because Diego's dirty boxing is phenomenal. He'll hold your head like Daniel Cormier and hit you up. He'll just fucking swing. His leg kicks are getting nice. His kicks are decent now. I didn't see many in the Dan Ige fight, but the Brian Ortega fight was nice. He chopped the leg, he went high with it. I don't think I saw many body shots from what I can remember, but he's really good. I think he's improving a lot, Diego. I mean, we all know about his grappling. That might be my favorite jiu-jitsu in the UFC. He's just flying shit. I think we'll see some flying shit. He'll just go for it for vibes. I think that'd be awesome. I can't wait for that. I think one thing Volk has to be careful for because he flares his right hand out, a bit like Ali. He dances and he flares his right hand out to get more leverage on the jab. If Diego can read that rhythm, he can slip and he goes over the jab and then he goes up under the jab. And we saw that land twice on Ortega when Ortega stepped in. So that's something Volk's going to have to watch out for because Diego hits like a fucking truck. We have seen Diego tire in two fights. One was on short notice, and the other one he had to cut weight 3 times in 1 week on fight week. So both of them are excusable, but both of them were 3 rounds, and this is his first 5 rounder with Volk. So if that becomes a factor, it will be him getting tired, not Volk. Volk's a fucking madman. I don't think I've ever seen him tired. Maybe Max too, but that was COVID. Mad. Um, Another thing, Volk. I think he should weaponize pace. I think he should even make Diego wrestle. I think that's a good idea because I don't like the thought of Volk just being pretty in the first 2 rounds. I think he's going to need to set the pace high, engage with the boxing, and then go for wrestling and just fight your way out of the submission attempt and keep Diego's muscles squeezing, like keep him having to like burn energy. So when you hit the third round, he's sitting there sweating and breathing out of his mouth and not able to really focus or concentrate. And he won't have the pep in his step, he won't have the pop in his shots that he would have done in the first 2 rounds. And then that's when Volk's game really kicks in because he is always sharp. He is always like this. L steps are nice, the inside leg kicks, the outside leg kicks, body jabs, body kicks. Volk just really wraps up the pressure, even mixes in the wrestling. He could maul Diego. I might actually pick Diego in this though, just because of Volk's chin. I'm worried about it. I want Volk to win, but I'm really worried about the chin. It's not that he's chinny, it's that he's fighting 3 power punches in a row. But he got kicked in the head and then he fought probably the hardest hitting featherweight champion in history. And now he's fighting Diego Lopez, who's on a fucking madness right now. So it's hard to pick against the momentum of Diego. But I really want Volk to take it, and his skill set is completely it's on a different level to Diego's. It's just Diego's got a style where he can beat people better than him because he's so tough and he knows what to look for. That's what he knows what to look for. He knows that when you shoot in, he makes you make a move that you don't want to make and then counters it and punishes you for it because he'll back you up, he'll kick your leg, and he'll like smack you. So either you'll shoot in and you'll snatch your neck, or you'll take him down and you'll break your arm, or you'll step in with a shot and he'll punt and he'll counter you, like you'll step in with a jab or something and he'll counter that, or he'll get you exchanging with him and he'll just throw. All of those things can happen, and he can catch Volk with any of them. It doesn't change for Diego. His game plan will be the same for Volk. Maybe he'll look for slightly different things. Volk's just got to be careful, but he will be because Volk is Volk, and he's mental and he's amazing. So maybe I would go with Volk. Diego's a really good underdog choice. I'm assuming he's the underdog. I haven't checked the. I'm assuming he's the underdog. He should be. But yeah, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna enjoy it. You should enjoy it. If you're not excited, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But holy shit, get pumped because I am. It's going to be amazing. See you guys next time. See you guys.